Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark III and welcome back to my glorious Soviet Republic in Workers and Resources. Soviet Republic, aptly named, yes. As you can see, construction is continuing along here, including some reworking of the power supply, yes. But more significantly, the hospital has caught fire. Yeah. And for some reason, the first trucks out are still the heavy ones. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. So, yep, the two heavy trucks go, yes. What about the little guy? Does it just sit there and do nothing? Because I've yet to see that guy actually respond to a fire, if I'm honest. It might just be because there's not enough people actually working in the place yet, but the heavy trucks have already got there, so it's a bit of a moot point. But I'm wondering if the fire trucks from the fire stations deploy in order. Like, if the first slot was that FZK, would that go, or is it like a limit of 2 trucks per fire? Because if that's the case, then that tells me I want to be buying the trucks in this particular order. And I suspect that is the case, honestly. So yeah, I want the first and third slots to be the FZKs, and then the heavier vehicles to be in the following slots, just so that it's like every fire we get a fast responder going out, followed by a slower but heavier one. So if the fire is too much for the fast responder to deal with, the heavier truck will catch up and put it out. I think that might be the safest way to go about it. But yeah, the hospital has been saved. Yay! My hospital is not dead. Though, honestly, I have actually seen the ambulances. Look, there goes one. The ambulance is actually going across the road. Fine. Sure. And that was going to that one. The hospital... That's literally on the opposite side. It's just down the route, just down the path. Why are you guys calling the ambulances out? What the heck? I don't even know, to be honest. Weird times abound. Oh dear. But yeah, as I mentioned at the end of last time, the plan, I think, is to continue rebuilding the old town a bit. So get things a bit better sorted out and more functional and all that jazz. Like, I'm thinking of tearing out this entire section here, actually, and redeveloping it, because this section should be serviced by, I think, this one. Yep. Or even these buildings here can reach that train station, or this train station here can reach like halfway into it. So yeah, this is a good candidate for some redevelopment work. As is this section here, and there's also like some outlying schools and things in the area too. So yeah, I think this quarter is due for demolition and rebuilding. But first things first, I guess, is wait for the construction to be done. So yeah, go ahead and do the things, peoples. Let's actually check the population stats. Right now we are at 94 deaths and 72 births, 0 escapes. The deaths last month, though, I wish I could see why people are dropping dead. I think maybe they're just not happy enough. If you look though, like, only 11 people have computers. Okay, in the interests of science, I have done something I never expected I'd do. And I'm actually building a pollution monitoring station, because I want to find out how the pollution is going and see if that might be influencing the deaths. I mean, there's a fair gap between the main source of pollution, which is the refinery, the oil processing plant, and the actual town/city itself. So I kind of want to find out. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh. Actual pollution. There is actually a big pollution cloud going on, like, because of all the oil mining and stuff going on too. And that is just clipping into the edge of the city. So they might have a partial cause for what's going on, because this edge of the place is intermingled with the actual extraction work. And if I look, no one lives in those two buildings. Yeah, no one lives there. I think probably because the pollution's killed them all. yeah, I think that's what's going on. Oh dear. This place seems to be fine. This one seems to be fine, but the ones where the pollution markers were red are all depopulated. Sorry, not red, like orange. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I had so many deaths. It's I accidentally killed them all through poisoning. Oh well. Yeah, so that's a no-go zone and no mistake. I mean, nope, nothing to see here. No human crimes or anything like that. Not at all. No. That one's actually still got some people in it. Only 15 though, but still. The more, yeah, that's not in the actual danger zone. That one is, and it's empty. Right. The more you know, ladies and gents. The more you know. I mean, in the total theoretical case that has not been proven by cold hard facts in light of recent events, yes. Avoid building housing too close to sources of serious pollution. I am Iron Mark III, poisoner of all things. In other news, we have actually got a bit of breakthrough up here. We've got vehicles. Well, we've not got vehicles. We need vehicles, yes, but we've got this area ready to go. So, unfortunately, the supply of people is a bit iffy up here nowadays. So that's one of the reasons why I need to redevelop part of the city, and why I wanted to know about the pollution. But I need to buy in some vehicles to haul back the lumber to this plant. So if I look, these guys can hold 4.5 tons, these guys hold 12 tons. They're the same speed in terms of felled tree capacity loading, but one can haul a lot more than the other. So I think just like this one here, I mean it's flat out better. I'm sure it's 50% more expensive, but it should be just fine. But if you look here, there's already some felled trees around, so they're just going around and loading up and going and doing the stuff. So it takes a while to load up and then they come back. Maybe give them another truck just in case. Right, so that will auto unload into this because that's a single link, so that's automatic transfer. This can hold some stuff, but I'm actually going to limit it. I'm going to say you can hold none of those because we don't want to have any bricks, prefabs or things like that. And then I'm going to say you can hold like 20% lumber, actually 15, so that's 49.5 tons of wood, and then the rest is just pure boards, like 280 tons worth. I mean, I shouldn't need anything like that much, maybe like 33 tons to 300 tons, yeah. So that's that. Boards will be transferred into there automatically, then this place will grab them and refine them into boards, and the boards will be stocked there, and then the boards will be grabbed by the train platform and exported. All under the wise gaze of Lenin. Yes. Now, as part of my ongoing science experiment, I ordered a pollution place to be built over here, next to the power plant, because that's also pretty close to the town. Though that said, the nearest building isn't really showing any signs of being depopulated, so I want to see where the pollution actually ends in this area before I start redeveloping it. You know, just because I'd rather my people be alive because they can do work for me instead of being dead, which doesn't help me at all. I mean, no, I care for my people's health and well-being. Yes, that. Your comrades from the nearby Very Free People's Republic introduced a new type of vehicle to the market available for purchase for using rubles. And that has taken me somewhere. Right. So that's a new train type, so hey. Okay, moment of truth. Actually, that's alright. Yeah, that power plant by itself is not doing any real damage. Cool. Good to know. But yeah, that serious density over near the oil wells is still cause of concern. Okay, right, what's going on here is I'm just redeveloping this section of road up to asphalt standards, just so that, just because vehicles like to go this way sometimes, so, you know, I'm doing that to be nice and improve transport and all that stuff. These guys are quite happily hauling logs back. This place is building up a stock, so we've got lumber starting to go on. There are a couple of extra supporting vehicles we need to have do stuff. And that is that this is not directly connected to the lumber place, so the lumber place will build up lumber. So I think I want to get a vehicle which will auto transfer lumber from here to here. And then I need a vehicle which will also get boards and take them down to my central storage place so that... no, that's not that one, it's that one. Just so that it will not be trying to auto import boards anymore, because I've got a stock of those. You know, things like that. In fact, you know, change of plan. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to tell this place here to cease and desist all board imports. So that will not import the boards. And instead, I'm going to tell this place here that it's... Asphalt plant can't produce any asphalt. Ooh, what the heck's going on there? Oh, I think I know what's going on. Right, hang on. Right. First things first. Boards you will pick up from here. So, just because I'm planning to do some stuff with this place will source any boards required directly from my sawmill. Just so that that's simpler. Right, what's going on here is I think the asphalt plant has ground to a halt because it's not got any gravel? Cannot store export asphalt. View the conflict area. Okay, I'm a bit confused here. Hang on. Oh, I see. Okay, right. It got stuck because it couldn't figure out how to get there because I think it's because I'm upgrading a bunch of other roads in the area. So I'm going to have to do some buying here to unstick some stuff. Like I've got some stuck buses over here as well. Is that enough to get you guys unstuck? No, you guys are still stuck. Oh, nope, there goes one. There they go. Yeah, it's just because I was upgrading too many roads at once, I think. If I hadn't upgraded all this stretch at one go, that wouldn't have been a problem. Okay, I guess it's moment of truth time. We've got a couple 100,000 in the bank, mainly because of delays brought about by constructing this little addition over here. We've got a active pump, which is making sure the oil refinery is fully stocked with 450 tons of fuel. So that should be working to maintain that. Then the storage tank over here is of course still plugged into all of that stuff, which is now plugged into a loading bay over there. And now let's get a new train out. Now, I could buy another dual engine like these guys over here. The problem is that they cost almost 200,000 in total to get. So, you know, not the best idea, I don't think. Also, I didn't build this electric track, it's a diesel track. So I'm thinking an SU-45 is going to be what we're going to be operating. Which, if I recall, isn't that the same as you guys? Yeah, it's the same as the passenger trains. So, but this time it's going to be a cargo train. So that's going to cost almost half of my available budget in rubles. But that should be worth, I think. Because we can grab that. Then we can give it some oil tanks. 15,000 a pop, 16,000 almost. Let's go for 5. That takes us down to like 31,000 rubles and dropping. So that's really bad. But we're going to tell this guy to go over here and fully load on good old black gold. And then make a beeline straight for the border. So, yeah, there we go. And start. So, yes, we are depending on you, oh Mr. Black Gold Train, to try and help keep things going. We might need to take... Well, if we're going to get boards exporting, we're going to need a loan, honestly. So I think just in the interest of accelerated development, that's probably what I'm going to do. Get another loan. Now my question is, how quickly is this going to load? Because it's running through that pump, if you recall. Yeah, full speed ahead, definitely. So, we are now exporting the refined products whenever we can. We are also exporting the raw oil itself, just so that we can get the best out of this. So this is going to get 12,000 in terms of output, which is quite a bit less than these two trains, admittedly. Because those two trains is like... the value is a lot denser on those guys, even though they would take a fair bit of oil to actually get that stuff refined. This is still nothing to sneeze at. It's still going to help. And that's the general premise of why I've done that. It's also why I'm going to be doing the boards export as well, which is building up a couple 100 tons of boards at the moment. It's not too bad. The plan still is to get this area redeveloped and going on, but I have noticed a positive trend, especially since I've demolished those, but I think it was too late and the damage was done in that case. But births are actually climbing. And the moment I look at that, deaths are higher. No. In the last month, births are 50% higher-ish than deaths, so positive trending is going up. We are getting more peeps. Though, in total, we've lost like 300 odd people. So, read into that what you will, honestly. Still, though, if I want to add more trains going for export, I'm going to actually upgrade this thing to double track the entire length of it, which is going to be an issue. There's only... and that means I'm going to have to invest in actually getting this thing up. And most likely I'm going to go for a rail construction office and see if I can get that working. Just because I'm going to need it to try and help out. In the meantime, though, fly, little black gold carrier. You must bring me the money. Alright, so... the oil train went out and it kept things ticking over, which is honestly what I was hoping for. So, yeah, it's not as valuable as this bitumen train that's just rolled up and is unloading now. But it was enough to keep the finances ticking over and going with a product I was actually producing for export. Well, just making anyway. And I think that is what I was after, really. I'm not going to make massive amounts exporting the low-value stuff. I mean, look, there's the fuel train. 60,000 rubles for that. But it's going to just help keep things chugging along at a more even pace. And it's not like I'm short on oil, either. So yes, there is that. Really though, I do think demolition and rebuilding this area is gonna be next on my list of things to do, quite frankly. I also wish that the it didn't keep kicking people out of the kindergarten and stuff like that as the staff level fluctuates, just because of how unreliable this game is inherently on staff levels. So that is a system that I think does need some work in the future, if I'm entirely honest. But yeah, this is all ticking along quite smoothly at the moment. Is that house abandoned? It is. Boom. And this kindergarten is barely doing anything, so I might as well actually demolish that too. And this place is... Oh, it needs higher education workers. Am I running out of higher education workers? I might be. So I do kind of need it to get some universities firing up sooner or later. The problem is affording that kind of stuff. Still though, at least people are actually enjoying life nowadays, so there is that. Yeah, this section is next on the list. The list! Sounds rather ominous when I say it like that. Oh, are you already going? Yes, you are. Have fun delivering that for 11,000 odd rubles. Notice how quickly the oil level is rebuilding as well. Wow, yeah, look at all this. It's like barren land. Oh dear. Well, don't worry, it'll soon be developed and redone. But in all honesty, clearing this out is kind of emptied. Well, emptied. It's actually maxed out a bunch of these flats and other nearby areas. So the reduction in housing is actually resulting in a significant crowding going on. Wasn't quite expecting that, but I also took out this area while I was at it too. So I demolished like basically maybe a third of the city. It's all in good reason. Yes, you know, it's gonna be worth it. Maybe, kind of, possibly, sort of. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. Make just careful use of this demolition tool, just because it's a really good way to go about it without risking blowing up other stuff. There we go. So yeah, that quarter of the city is now gone and is ready to be redeveloped. Let's double check my pollution monitor just in case. There's a little bit over this way. Actually that's... Oh. Pollution is higher because flat out the oil production is up because I'm using more of it. That might be an issue. There might be an issue with having stuff over here as well. Like I thought this row of buildings here was safe, but I'm guessing not. I mean, yeah, look at that. Population is 4, population 24, population 8. Yeah, I think high pollution levels does kill people. I mean, more random evidence that it's totally not being sourced in real life. Not at all. This one's holding up okay, but yeah, these ones are almost empty. That would explain the recent 144 deaths versus 52 births this month. Oh dear. I am truly murdering my people. I've got to stop doing that. It's counterproductive, at the very least. Well, that looks a bit awkward. Right. I should probably include some stops on these. Yeah, go ahead and start again. Right, what I've done is... This is good proof, actually, that I am earning more than I am using. Because I was able to send the... you remember I was really low? I was able to send in my oil train to get extra wagons, and back down the same amount of money I had before. But this thing can now haul double the amount, so 600 instead of 300 per trip. That is, however, the limit of the length of the train, so yeah, 600 is the best I could do. So if I took off the engine on the other train, the fuel train, then it would be 1 extra fuel tanker. But I do have the oil reserves to feed this thing, I think, and it should be fine. And at the very least, this one is going to be filled up whenever this train is not here. So the oil refinery is definitely going to be kept topped up as well. And then this can only draw from the storage tank over there. So yeah, it shouldn't interfere at all. But it is earning now 22,500 per trip, which is nothing to sneeze at. Sadly, I've not earned enough finances to actually get the board's train rolling, which would be a very good thing to do. If it wasn't for the fact I'd need to upgrade the entire darn track to allow the thing to actually do that. So what the heck are you doing? I don't know what those buses are trying to do. They are... Issue is over here. Oh, it's just because there's a bunch of roadworks and things going on. Okay. But yeah, right. This is what I'm planning. I have got 2 more blocks going. I have condemned all the housing that was within reach of the pollution effect, I think. At least the ones that are still in the pollution effect aren't showing significant loss of population, so they should be okay. I've got facilities. I've actually got some statues worked in now. I've got another pub, because, of course. And I've got a new school planned for over here. Just because here it's in reach of this station, and this station I think is going to be where all the education stuff goes on. So the schools will be here because schools need university graduates. And then students to go to the school will bus over from this one to there. The one side effect of this pollution, actually, now that I think about it, is the fact that I don't need a separate bus stop over here, really, to help move people around, because that section of the city no longer exists. So, hooray pollution, I suppose? I mean, no, pollution's actually bad, but you get the gist of it. Silver lining, that's what I meant to say. I don't know where these buses are trying to go, though, but they're well and truly stuck. Right. I would say you can go ahead and just go. There we go. Right. And this train is very happily just chugging along past the river. Just, yeah. But unfortunately, my earlier prediction has come true in part because we are actually kind of self-sustaining at the moment, even though we are bleeding money to feed the loans. But rate of progress has slowed significantly in terms of how quickly episodes are being made versus recording time, because flat out game progression, while I'm able to fund a lot of this myself now, is a lot slower. So yeah, I knew that was coming, but it's the state of things at the moment. Still though, at least things are actually getting a lot more centralised and a lot more functional. So there is that. Also, this school is actually not functional at all, so I'm just going to delete that. Yeah. That school was useless. All the education people are actually all down here nowadays. I wish there was a priority button. Like, I could click and say, this is a priority building. So a construction office will try and build this before anything else. That might be a nice addition. Just something to help prioritise tasks that you want done first. Ah well, we'll keep on rolling and keep getting this thing built up a little bit. Sadly, I've not had a fire to work out if my changes to the assignments in the fire station have had any effects or not. But these firefighters, ooh dear. Da 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 da. 36 workers. I guess we get to finish off this particular episode on a more triumphant note, which is actually wasn't good. Right, you know how I was mentioning is like how they were sucking up all the workers and things, and it was actually causing problems. Especially since I've been accidentally killing off a bunch of my workers. I mean, rumoredly, allegedly, I've been killing off a bunch of my workers and all that jazz. Yes. I'd forgotten that on construction tasks you can actually do the same as with buildings and decrease and increase the number of workers assigned to it. So this is keeping a few people on hand so construction continues. But it doesn't need to do that. Same with this. Like 50 max, but I've only got 5 people assigned to it. This one I kind of want to be going on as much as possible. Because, you know, it's a residential building, so we want people to be living there, yada yada, so that's more important. And so I've left that one at maximum 75. I think I'm actually going to decrease that to like 25 max. So yeah, that'll stop these buildings from sucking up all of the nearby workers, and in turn just help me keep things more stable in general. So yeah, pretty pleased I remembered that one. Slash rediscovered that one, slash whatever. I'm not incompetent, I swear, honest, I know what I'm doing. Maybe. Oh, what's happened to the power supply? Where is... Oh, my little bus is probably up here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Do you have people on board? You do. Okay, that'll get the power back on at least. So, Maybe I need the fuel station on the far side of town, but it's not too far out of the way for vehicles to come across town to get to this one. It's just they wander off every once in a while and it slows things down a tiny bit, but it's not too bad. But yeah, there we go. We get to finish with that tip that we can reduce the worker priorities for different construction tasks, and that helps out in general. Though sadly, in the process of discovering that, I'm actually almost out of resources. My money is kind of suffering a bit. Though there is a train. There goes the Roopers. Luckily, I have some internal stocks of stuff, so there is that. But the other two money-making trains are still up here loading, just because everything's been having trouble. Something's happened. Have people been dying? No, again, birth rates have been in the positive this last month. I think it's just because everyone was tied up on there, so it stopped things functioning normally. I guess. I don't know. But, 137 people are in the schoolyard, but... Why are they in the schoolyard? I think because I'm running out of teachers, probably. Yeah, I think I'm running out of university people. Still, gonna end it there though. Before the positive note sours too much through bureaucratic incompetence / nightmare / whatever. I don't know. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and my Republic continues. There's nothing wrong at all. No, it's all perfect. See you all later. Yeah, that's neatened up a little bit. Still 137 people just hanging around. Ouch.